Listen, I don't know how long we're going to pretend that we don't have favorite books because we love them all the same, but I am here to tell you that I did not pick these. They picked me. So if they're my favorite, it's not because I picked them. They picked me. They said, today Rose is going to read us and we're going to be a favorite. I didn't choose that. It just happened because they did that. I have so many books to show you today, and I am so excited because I really want you to read these. But let me tell you a little something. If you read these and you happen to hate them, I don't need to know. Keep it to yourself, because in my books, if I love something that you hate, then I am living my best life. I am winning. So just don't even tell me. I don't want to know. But if you loved it, definitely let me know, because I want to know all the details. I want to know what you love the most. I want to know what part was your favorite. I want to know if you have any favorite quotes. I want to know if you laughed, or if you giggled, or if you kicked your feet, or if you threw the book across the room. I want to know. I do have Christian romance, I have rom-coms, I have spooky reads, I have not spooky like thriller, but just spooky as in like spooky season read. And I also have some Fade to Black, parallel romance, and I have some romantasy, and I am so excited to bring all these to you. Let's start with one of my favorite duologies of all time. Please do not take this lightly. I mean, of all time. I love both of these books so much, and honestly, I wish I could forget them so that I could read them again for the first time, because if you haven't read these, I am jealous. I shouldn't be jealous, but I am. I'm sorry. I know. I just am. I wish I could read this again for the first time. Here we have Bound by Wishes. This book follows Kalina, and she has spent her career fighting for recognition in a male-dominated field. So when she gets summoned to go to Jalem, might be saying that wrong, to decipher an ancient language carved into the entrance of King Thalorian's legendary mines, it's the opportunity of a lifetime. But then there's an accident that happens, and she comes across this broody, dangerous, but captivating genie. Now she is questioning everything she thought she knew. Ronan used to be a powerful king until his brother cursed him into servitude and bound him to a magic lamp. Now, she finds him. She has 3 wishes, and somehow they end up accidentally being together in this amazing forced proximity journey that I will not tell you more about because I want you to find out. And then of course we have book number 2. Now this is a completed duology. Please do yourself a favor, and when you read book 1 or when you buy book 1, just go ahead and buy book 2 already, because these are amazing, and as soon as you're done with book 1, you're going to want to get into book 2. I wanted to throw this one a little bit because there is a cliffhanger, but it was so good. I did not throw my book. I did not throw my Kindle. I was actually with my jaw on the floor. This was so awesome. It was so good. I highly recommend it, and I just love this duology so much. So if you haven't read it, please, I am begging you, read it. What are you waiting for? Do you want me to pay you? I will pay you. I'm just kidding. Both of these are by Jessica Spruill, and she's amazing. Next, I have another duology that also lives in my brain rent-free. Just know all of these books live in my brain rent-free, but I also love this one so much, and I also am begging you to read this one. I love this one. Here we have Bounty Hunter, and I read this one and I rated it 6 stars. It is a completed duology and it is out now, so you can definitely get these. I am again jealous if you haven't read these because I just love them so much. This book follows Vera, and Vera takes many different jobs because she is in hiding, she is feared, she is hated, and to survive she has to take so many different jobs, and one of them is being a bounty hunter. She told herself that she would never take a Class A contract, but since she is a little bit stretched for money, she ends up taking one of those contracts that she said she was never going to take. Now she is lost in the forest with a bounty who she happens to be attracted to. But even worse than that is that he is asking all these questions. He wants to know about the black tulips, which she is a black tulip. And then we have Iker, and Iker will be the last High King if he doesn't find a black tulip to restore Lucent magic. But after being killed by kings long ago, the tulips went into hiding, and the last person they'll want to see is him. This is a completed duology. I loved it so much and I highly recommend it. You need to check these books out. They are amazing and the stories are just perfect. Let's do a few little rom-coms. I actually just finished these and I am so excited to show them to you. I just finished Royally Rearranged by Emma St. Clair, and this is so fun. I can remember this story so well. I don't know if I should tell you a lot about it because it is just like a sweet rom-com. It was so funny. This one is one that is going to make you laugh out loud, and I highly recommend this one. Again, this one is called Royally Rearranged by Emma St. Clair. A little bit from the back says, there will be a royal wedding. The only question is, who will be my groom? An arranged marriage isn't the worst fate for a princess like me, especially because I've been in love with my intended groom since we were children. But when my prince shows up with an American girlfriend instead of an engagement ring, all arrangements are off. The clock is nearing midnight and I won't turn into a pumpkin, but if I am not wed by summer's end, I'll forfeit my kingdom. Just your typical royal dilemma. Out of sheer desperation, I make a deal with a devilish duke, Rafe de Silva is the prince's rival and has a plan so ridiculous it might just work. Fake dating, okay? Making him jealous and fake dating. I love this book so much. You have to read it. It was just so sweet and so good and so funny. I loved it. Next, I have The Buy-In. This one is also by Emma St. Clair, and I love this book so much too. I was giggling, I was kicking my feet, I was actually laughing out loud. It was so good. When a family of former pro football players buys a small Texas town, they didn't intend to start a war with its residents or to fall in love. Ever since his career-ending injury, Pat has bounced from job to job, idea to idea, short-lived relationships to short-lived relationships. But when his father purchases a town of sheet cake, Pat suddenly sees his life with clear purpose, get his brothers on board with his dad's wild idea, and win back the woman who got away. Lindy was supposed to be traveling the world, not stuck in a small town caring for her niece, but she would do anything to keep custody of Joe, even if that looks like a marriage of convenience with the man who already broke her heart once. Now, if she can only keep herself from falling back in love with her husband, I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what to tell you. Need I say more? I mean, I literally read you the whole synopsis. By the way, both of these are on Hoopla, so you have no excuses. You gotta read them. I did immersive reading, so that audiobook and reading them. So good. Okay, next I do have another romantasy, okay? I'm sorry. Here we have On Wings of Ash and Dust, and this one is by Brittany Wang. This one is book 2 that I recently read. This one is On Wings of Crowns and Chaos. This one I loved mainly because, I mean, I loved it for all the reasons, but mainly because I love these characters so much that going back here just felt like visiting old friends. A deadly competition between 5 fairy clans. Will she win the crown or die trying? Pixie Pirate Quinn is an outlaw wanted by all 5 fairy clans, but she prefers it that way. All she wants is to finally become a pirate captain and bury her true identity beneath the rolling waves. But when the sudden death of her twin brother causes her to plot a vengeful heist, a shocking betrayal unmasks her for who she really is, her people's last living heir. Her only hope of escaping certain death of her crimes is taking her brother's place in the Aetherdyne, a dangerous competition for the fairy crown. In a series of death-defying trials, Quinn faces off with the heirs of 4 rival clans: a mute beast tamer, a flirtatious merman, a half-blind artist, and a pompous princess. This is book 1. This is book 2. We will be getting another book. I don't know how many books will be in this series. I think 4 or 5, but I am obsessed. On Wings of Ash and Dust and On Wings of Crowns and Chaos. Need I say more? Need I say more? Next, I have one that is going to make you bawl your eyeballs out. By the time you finish this book, you're going to have no more eyeballs. It's just, it is what it is. Here we have Neverending Mercy by Latisha Sexton. This book was so amazing. It is so full of mercy, so full of care and God's love all throughout the book. I love this book so much. It is going to be one of my top reads for this year. Some of these are my top reads for last year, but this one is going to be one of my top reads for this year. I love it so much. It was just so amazing. Returning home to Lavender Falls should have been simple. Ruth Patterson spent her childhood trying to gain the approval of Haley Burnham and squelch her crush on Haley's older brother, Crosby. But after years of pushing Ruth away, Haley does the unthinkable, effectively ending their relationship and ruining any chance Ruth might have had with Crosby. 6 years later, Ruth returns home, eager to make amends so she can finally put the past behind her and move on with her life, until she learns that not only will she have to confront Haley, but Crosby as well. So good. I highly recommend. I rated this 6 stars. It was just amazing. You have to read it if you like sad books. It's not sad like the whole way through the book. It's sad like at the end. At one point I was scared that I wasn't going to cry, but then I was literally tears, bawling my eyes out. It was the best. I have another one that is a little bit sad too, but I absolutely loved it. This one, it was so good. This one is young adult, and this one is called Take Me Back to Yesterday by Jasmine Little. And a little bit from the back says, he was her best friend, and now he's just a boy who killed her sister. Need I say more? Actually, I'm not going to tell you more. I think that it would be best if you just go into this book without reading the rest of the synopsis. You can if you want, because you know, you can do whatever you want. You're an adult. But I didn't, and I have no regrets. This one was so good. We have time travel. It was just amazing. If you're looking for a really amazing young adult book, I highly recommend this one. It was so good. Just know that there are heavier topics, grief, and all that stuff. But I loved it. The Veil Between Us is the spooky book that I have for you. Nancy Faber isn't dead, and yet when she stumbles across her long-deceased great-great-grandmother's marriage license and is strangely compelled to write the name they both share on the dotted line, the past and present start to blur together. Strange things begin to happen. A bizarre recurring dream set a century ago. The little stone house in the woods next to her grandmother's house keeps disappearing. And then there is this persistent presence of Henry, her mysterious, compelling neighbor. She can't get off her mind. Stranger yet is the way she and Henry are cosmically connected through the paper she signed, swirling their fates together in impossible ways. The synopsis continues, but I'm not going to tell you anymore. This was a little bit spooky, but also so good. I remember laughing, and I remember just having the best time with this read. Definitely recommend it for like October. I don't really read horror, and this was not horror. This was just a little spooky. Also, a really fun read. Next, I have The Summer of Yes by Courtney Walsh. I love everything and anything that Courtney Walsh writes, and I'm probably going to have another book in my next books that I can't get out of my brain video, and I'll have more of her books on there. Sometimes you're so busy writing other people's stories that you lose the plot of your own. This wasn't how Kelsey's day was supposed to go. She wasn't supposed to be picking up Starbucks for her smarmy boss. She wasn't supposed to get hit by a car that jumped the curb. And she certainly wasn't supposed to wake up in a hospital room next to Georgina Tate, legendary matriarch of a New York City businesswoman. Kelsey and Georgina couldn't be more opposite. Kelsey's a dreamer, a writer who questions her own skills, and Georgina is a confident businesswoman whose years of shouldering her way into boardrooms and making her voice heard have made her far too outspoken for the faint of heart. But now Georgina's failing kidneys force her to face some big regrets about the way she's lived her life. The two women recognize that they share a common thread. Maybe it's time to confront a few things they must ask themselves. What if I said yes to everything I've always wanted to say no to? I highly recommend this book. It is one of my favorite books by her. It is just so good. There's a little bit of romance, but definitely the story is based between these two women, and I might have to reread this one. It was just that good. Next, I have Becoming Hook, and this one I just literally finished like this week, and this one was just so amazing. This one is a villainous retelling of Peter Pan, and it was just so good. It says, a pirate, a pixie, and a plot to foil Peter Pan. I love this book, and I love how the edges are sprayed. I love how it looks. It's just so cute. The back is also super cute, and I also love the inside. Under the dust jacket, we have this cute little foiling. It is just so beautiful. And there's actual pictures on the inside, which I really love. I'm not going to tell you much about this one because I'm assuming that you know Peter Pan. And this one is just a villainous Peter Pan retelling. So you should know a little bit about what this book is about. And this one I went in blind as well, and I just loved it so much. Here we have Reverie by Drew Taylor. I love this story so much and lives in my brain rent free. I highly recommend it. This one is another another one of my 6-star reads. I tabbed so many of the quotes in this book because I am literally obsessed with this story. This one is one of my favorite reads for 2025. What if you could experience the love of a lifetime twice? Emma Jenkins has a story to tell. After being left at the altar, she sets off for her honeymoon in Bora Bora alone, on a mission to find a certain spark to hoist her from the dregs of her insipid life. That spark blazes into her world in the form of a shirtless giant of a man rescuing her from an attempted kidnapping. When the offender escapes, Esme's savior vows to stay by her side until the creep is caught. As the days tick by, the pair fall into a whirlwind romance Esme never expected to experience. But that's just fiction, because when Esme Jenkins was in Bora Bora, she lost 3 days of her memory in a freak accident, including ones made during that week on the island. 1 year later, she's seeking to publish the story that won't vacate her brain. The serendipity? The agent seeking to represent her looks identical to the male main character. I love this book so much. It was such a fun read. It took me to Bora Bora. I was there, I was having fun, and I think that you should definitely check it out. Last but not least, we have Flying Between Two Worlds. Please know that these are both fade to black, so please make sure to check the level of comfort you have when it comes to fade to black scenes, because you're going to need to know that before you jump into these. This one has 1 fade to black scene, and this one has about 4 fade to black scenes. This one is book 2, and then this one is book 1. Line Between Two Worlds is a battle of perfection, a fear of trust, and a love that transcends worlds. Valerie Thompson has spent her whole life building the flawless future everyone expects of her. She has it all: a successful career, prestigious parents, and a doting fiance. Everything that is left is for her to marry the man of her dreams, Theodore Burns. But when an ordinary day just sends her plunging into this icy lake, Valerie finds herself stranded in a world that should not exist. Aboris is nothing like home. Cities give way to kingdoms. A treehouse village hides in the forest, and the shadows crawl with creatures closer to monsters than animals. Here, when she comes face to face to Theodore Burns, only he isn't the man she loves. Theodore points a sword at her throat. Determined to find a way back to her Theodore, she can't afford to trust the man who wears his face. And when survival demands strength she never knew she had, Valerie is forced to confront the truth. Was perfection the dream, or just the cage? One thing that I love about these books is that these are illustrated on the inside. We have about 15 or 16 illustrations, and the author did an amazing job at illustrating them. She made these, which is amazing. I absolutely love this book. I love this world, and I highly recommend them. Again, make sure to check what you're comfortable with, and I hope that you check these out. If you are looking for more no spice books, make sure to follow me, because that is literally all I share. I share no spice, I share clean, I share fade to black, and I am so happy to bring you so many more books. And if you want more content, like daily content, make sure to follow me on my Instagram, on my TikTok, on my Facebook, because I share daily content on there. And leave me a little comment. Let me know which of these covers you like the most. If you don't remember, I'm gonna try to see if I can put some of the pictures on here so that you guys can tell me which ones you like the most. I cannot wait to see you next time. I'll be coming back with the part 2 later down the year. Love you, and I hope you have the best reading time. Bye, friends.